that's a trick question. Because you know what the answer is to that? Everyone's life is more interesting than mine, you know? I mean, that's, everyone's life is to them. It's all, it really is all relative. But of books, of memoirs, okay, you know, I'm fascinated with, well, Edith Wharton then, House of Mirth. What fascinated me by that book, even though it's not a memoir and I'm not quite answering your question, is that when you read it now, if you're, you know, you can read it and you can say, oh, you know, this is kind of like a nastier Sex in the City in a way, or some other kind of urban book that I haven't read. But then you realize that this was written with ink and a piece of bird, and the woman had to write it in her head before putting it on paper, and there was no laptop. And it's a complex book, you know, and that she would have been fascinating to know. Fascinating to know. Mark Twain interests me. He would have been a very interesting person. Oh, okay, no, I can give you an answer. I have a better answer for you. The person that fascinates me is Emily Dickinson. I never cared about Emily Dickinson. I grew up in the same town. I walked past that house every day of my life. My mother loved Emily Dickinson. I was not interested at all. And then, like 2 years ago, I picked up one of the collected poems, and I picked it up and I just started looking at it and really reading it. And it was absolutely astonishing, as I'm the last to know. But what I find most astonishing is that she didn't leave her room. You know, she had a very, very deep sea of wisdom about so many features in life, and yet with her mind alone, which is interesting when you think about it, because don't they say we use 10% of our brains? Well, if that's the case, that makes us very unique in nature. We're the only wasteful thing, right? I think we probably do use 100% of our brains, but we don't know what that other 90% does. And Emily Dickinson seemed to have been in touch somehow with a lot more than she was in touch with. So I just find her fascinating. And I want that cookie recipe.